A new report from Punchbowl News says that Amazon is looking to avoid the blame for raising prices as a result of President Trump's new tariff.
What does it take for a $2 trillion American icon to abandon its homeland? In May 2025, Amazon stunned the world by announcing it would relocate its global headquarters outside of the United States. The decision was not symbolic. It was total. The entire global command structure, operations, logistics, finance, and executive leadership gone. Why? 2 words: Trump's tariffs. In an aggressive move to revive what he calls American economic supremacy, President Donald Trump imposed massive tariffs on foreign imports, including up to 145% on key consumer electronics from China. The blow was immediate. Amazon's tightly woven supply chain unraveled almost overnight. The company faced an estimated $13 billion loss in profits over just 3 years if it stayed. They made a choice: leave fast, and what followed was nothing short of a corporate earthquake. This is the inside story of how America's largest online retailer walked away and never looked back. It didn't start with Amazon. It started with a doctrine. In January 2025, President Trump stood at a White House podium and declared a patriotic trade revolution. The message was clear: America would no longer be taken advantage of. New tariffs slammed everything from Chinese electronics to German automobiles to Canadian raw materials. The de minimis rule, which for decades had allowed low-value imports to enter the U.S. duty-free, was suddenly scrapped. For Amazon, it was devastating. The company had built its empire on global scale. Third-party sellers flooded its platform with inexpensive accessories, gadgets, textiles, and home goods, all delivered at razor-thin margins through an optimized distribution network. Now, every one of those items became a liability. Tariffs as high as 145% crushed the margins Amazon had relied on. Overnight, foreign competitors outside of U.S. borders had an edge. Their prices remained stable. Their logistics stayed intact. Amazon was trapped, forced to absorb the costs or pass them on to customers. Neither option was survivable long-term. Behind closed doors, panic set in. In Seattle, strategy meetings stretched deep into the night. The company faced an impossible decision: stay and suffer, or leave. The decision didn't take long. They called it Project Silver Compass. Its mission? Escape. Amazon's internal task force, led by Global Logistics Chief Vincent Chow, was ordered to find a new home. Fast. The criteria were non-negotiable: no tariffs, low taxes, political neutrality, strong tech infrastructure, and stable governance. 4 nations emerged as candidates: Singapore, Ireland, Canada, the United Arab Emirates. Each held promise. Singapore offered speed and precision. Ireland had a track record for welcoming tech giants. Canada provided cultural familiarity and flexible trade relationships. But one stood above the rest: the UAE. Behind closed doors, Amazon negotiated a package that stunned even veteran insiders: a full decade of zero corporate taxes, a sovereign data treaty protecting Amazon's massive information flows, a custom-built logistics and technology district in Dubai, expedited visas and relocation for up to 40,000 employees and their families. The offer was irresistible. Back in Seattle, executives stared at the numbers. They didn't blink. Amazon would do the unthinkable: relocate its entire global command center. Not a satellite office, the full operation. The plan was set in motion, but the real explosion was yet to come. The first sign wasn't a press release. It was silence. Late-night strategy meetings at Amazon's Seattle headquarters quietly stopped. No leaks, no rumors, just subtle withdrawal. Executives canceled future meetings beyond June. Then came the leak. Amazon had begun testing a shocking idea: display tariff surcharges directly on product pages. Show customers exactly how much Trump's policies were costing them. The White House erupted. President Trump's press secretary called the move hostile and anti-American. Reuters.com. Congressional Republicans threatened antitrust investigations. A private call between Trump and Jeff Bezos escalated into a standoff. "If you make it impossible to operate here, we will operate somewhere else," Bezos reportedly warned. Then came total silence. No more statements from Amazon. No more meetings in Seattle. On May 6, 2025, Amazon stunned the world. The company announced it would move its global headquarters abroad. Not a symbolic office. The entire command structure, operations, finance, logistics, leadership, leaving the U.S., leaving fast. The news sent shockwaves through Wall Street, Washington, and every American business boardroom. The fallout was only beginning. Wall Street froze. Amazon's stock plunged 5% within hours. Panic. But then came the twist. Analysts realized the move could save Amazon billions long term. The stock quickly rebounded. Seattle was not so lucky. The city faced devastation. Tens of thousands of Amazon employees had to choose, relocate or leave. Seattle's red-hot housing market cooled almost overnight. Small businesses that thrived on Amazon's workforce began shutting down. City officials scrambled to patch massive tax revenue holes. Meanwhile, the exodus had begun. Amazon's first wave of executives flew to Dubai. Data centers were duplicated in Abu Dhabi. Engineers were trained in Gulf data laws, Islamic finance, and labor compliance. Fulfillment centers in Bahrain and Oman were retrofitted with solar arrays and autonomous robotics. Amazon was transforming into something new, borderless, stateless, post-American, and the world noticed. Apple began lobbying the U.S. government for tariff relief. Investors.com. Tesla accelerated construction of its Indonesian battery plant to bypass U.S. restrictions. Walmart quietly started reviewing foreign supply chains. Amazon had lit the fuse. Other giants were preparing to follow. The floodgates were opening. Back in Washington, the backlash exploded. Senators demanded investigations into Amazon's corporate betrayal. Labor unions called it an unforgivable abandonment of American workers. Consumer groups pushed for federal laws to block what they called tax-fueled offshore escapes. But it was too late. Amazon was gone. In Dubai, Singapore, and Dublin, tech ministers quietly celebrated. They knew what had happened. America's most powerful company was now their customer. Amazon's new Dubai campus was already being hailed as a digital special economic zone, a place where AI, robotics, and quantum supply chain technologies could evolve beyond U.S. regulatory constraints. Local universities opened joint research labs within months. Regional governments slashed red tape and upgraded infrastructure at lightning speed. Amazon's workforce fragmented. Some teams relocated abroad. Others were retrained or replaced. New international hiring pipelines were built across Asia, Africa, and Europe. A corporate migration had begun, and it raised a chilling question. If Amazon can leave, who's next? The tariff strategy meant to punish China had instead backfired spectacularly. Washington had underestimated the fallout. And now, the world watches. Is America still the best place to do business? You tell us. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth investigative stories.